what we think. Hello friends, and welcome to another class by Daily English Classroom. In today's class we are talking about a poem called The Sower, which was originally written in French by the famous French writer Victor-Marie Hugo. This poem, which was originally written in French, was translated into English by our own Indian poet Toru. Let's learn something about Victor-Marie Hugo. He was born in the year 1802 and died in 1885, and he has got so many novels and dramas to his credit. He was a poet, a playwright, novelist, and above all, he was a painter. And his most important works are Les Miserables and Notre Dame de Paris, or The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Let's go to this poem, The Sower. Before we start the poem, if any of you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe to our channel and tell about this channel to your friends. Okay, let's go to the poem, The Sower by Victor-Marie Hugo, translated by Toru. Let's go to the first stanza of the poem. Sitting in a porchway cool, fades the ruddy sunlight fast, twilight hasten on to rule, working hours are well nigh past. So, before we start the poem, you should have an idea about this poem. What is the background of this poem? Well, the background of this poem is that the writer Victor-Marie Hugo is sitting in a porchway, and the time is the evening time, and he is watching outside. He is a writer. He wants to write some poems, novels, etc. He was searching for some kind of subject for his poems, and he was just watching what is happening outside. He was very comfortably sitting on his chair in the porchway and watching things outside. There is a beautiful field in front of his house, and he is watching it, and the time is the evening. And a word about the structure of the poem, we can see in every stanza 4 lines each, and we have 5 stanzas. So altogether we have 20 lines in this poem. So now you got a background of the poem, that the poet is sitting in a porchway very calmly and watching what is happening outside. And the time is late evening, it's almost twilight. Twilight is the time between the evening and night. And it is getting dark, and he is watching the things happening outside. He is sitting very comfortably in the porchway, and he can feel, he can understand that the sunlight is fading very fast because it is evening time is over, and now it is getting twilight, it is getting night, and working hours are over. Usually we have a working time that's from the morning to the evening. So at the evening time, everyone will stop their work and go back to their houses. And here the working times are over, and still he finds something interesting in the field. Let me read the first stanza once again for you. Sitting in a porchway cool, referring to the writer or the poet sitting there in the porchway, which is very cool. Fades the ruddy sunlight. Ruddy means red in color. Fades the red color, the sunlight, the evening sunlight. The red color of the evening sunlight is slowly getting dark. Then twilight hasten on to rule. Now the time for the evening is over, and then next comes the time for the night or the twilight. Just before the beginning of the night, the twilight is now on rule. It is the twilight time. Working hours are well nigh past. The working hours are over. Everybody has returned to their houses. Second stanza. So in the first stanza, you can note there are some rhyming words in the first stanza like cool and rule, fast and past. So we can find that the rhyme scheme follows a pattern A, B, A, B. And the rhyme scheme of this poem is A, B, A, B. That means the first line and the third line are rhyming, and also the second and fourth lines are rhyming. A, B, A, B. Now let's go to the second stanza of the poem. Shadows shoot across the lands, but one sower lingers still. Old in rags, he patient stands, looking on, I feel a thrill. So, shadows shoot across the lands because now it's getting dark and there is some shadows appearing in the field because it is getting dark. And you can see the shadows of many things in the field because the time is late evening, it's getting dark and one can see so many shadows there. But he finds that there is one sower. Who is a sower? Sower is a worker in the field who is sowing the seeds, taking the seeds in his hand and throwing it into the different places. So one solitary sower, there is only one man there in the field, and he doesn't want to stop his work. He continues his work. But one sower lingers still. A person is standing there. The poet sitting in the porchway, he can see a man, a sower, standing there. He's not moving, he's standing still in one particular place in the field. And we get an idea about his appearance. He is wearing some old clothes. He is wearing some rags. Rags means torn clothes, old clothes. He is wearing some old clothes. And he is very patient. He has the patience. He is waiting. He is waiting to start his work. He is standing there. He has no intention to go back or to stop his work, because he knows it's the time to do it. And old in rags, he patient stands, looking on, I feel a thrill. So looking at this man, looking at this sower from such a long distance, the poet feels something interesting. Maybe a subject for his poem, maybe the appearance and the coming of this man made some thoughts in the mind, created some thoughts in the mind of the poet. Maybe he is thinking about a contrast between this man and he himself. This man is not going home. This man is a very hard-working farmer, and he is doing his duty even at this late hours, whereas the poet is very comfortably sitting in his porchway. He is a bit lazy. So there is a contrast, a comparison between this sower and the poet. The sower is very active and hardworking, and the poet, on the other hand, is lazy and is in search of some subjects for his works. Black and high, his silhouette dominates the furrows deep. Now to sow the task is set, soon shall come a time to reap. So, when it is getting dark, the poet feels that his shadow is getting bigger and bigger. Now, his image is got mixed up with the darkness that he can hardly see the person. Since the darkness has deepened, he can see only the outline of the sower. He cannot differentiate him or separate him from the darkness. So he imagines that this man, he cannot see him properly. He got mixed up with the darkness, and now he can see only the outline of the sower, because now it is more dark. and he feels that he is very high and black, and he dominates the furrows. Furrows are the or ditches formed on the field by plowing, and he feels that the shadows of this sower is there everywhere in the field. It's getting bigger and bigger. The shadow is getting bigger and bigger, that he feels that the whole field is covered with his shadow, that he looks like a giant. He looks gigantic. Dominates the furrows deep. Now to sow the task is set. This man is very busy. He is not worrying about the time, but he is busy in his work. He is not wasting his time, and he is working even at this late hours, and because he has got a work to do. The task is set. Now what is the task? The task is sowing. So we know there are different stages in farming, like plowing, then sowing, manuring, then reaping and harvesting. So many stages are there in farming, and this one, now he is in this work, that is sowing. And now to sow, the task is set. Soon shall come a time to reap. So after some days, it will produce, the seeds will produce the corns, and then it will be the time for getting the fruit of his hard work, to get the harvest. So the poet consoles this man, and he tells him that now it may be hard work, but definitely you are going to enjoy the fruits of your hard work, because there will come a time for reaping and harvesting. Now to sow, the task is set. Soon shall come a time to reap, and there is nothing to worry, because all your hard work and this extra time that you are spending will be aptly rewarded by the harvesting. So he tells the man, he encourages the man, and he feels very proud of this man who is staying back even when all the other workers have left to continue with his sowing. He feels a great respect for this man, whereas he feels himself not a good person, because he is idly sitting there and not doing any work. The next stanza: marches he along the plain, to and fro, and scatter wide from his hands the precious grain. Moody eye to see him stride. So earlier this man was just standing, maybe he's getting ready for sowing, and now he started moving. He is striding or walking to and fro. To and fro means to the front and then to the back and then backwards. He is walking to and fro, and in his hand there are the precious seeds, and the poet calls it the precious grain, because this grain, when it is sown, it will become the corns, and it will give us food to live. So it gives us life. So it is very precious. These corns are so precious. It sustains life. It gives us food. So it's very precious. And he is walking along the plain and to and fro, and scatters wide from his hand the precious grains. Moody eye to see him stride. When the poet watches this man sowing the seeds by walking to and fro, that creates some emotions in the mind of the poet. He feels a change in his mood. He was feeling relaxed, but then he feels a little sad. He feels that this man is better than me. He is doing his work. So he feels a little emotional, and that changed his mindset. And now he looks at this man, the sower, with great respect and admiration. The last stanza of the poem: darkness deepens, gone the light. Now his gestures to mine eyes are august and strange. His height seems to touch the starry skies. Seeing this man created some emotions in the mind of the poet, and he feels great respect and love for this man who is doing this hard work for giving food to others. And the time is getting dark, it's getting more and more dark, and darkness deepens. Is an example of alliteration. Darkness deepens, gone the light. Now there is no light, only darkness. And his gestures and to my eyes are august. Now, august means remarkable or great. And I feel him, I respect him, I feel a great love for this man because he is a sincere farmer, a good worker. And his height seemed to touch the starry sky. Now the poet can no longer recognize the man by watching him because it is dark, and his image got mixed up with the darkness, that he feels like a big man, as big as the field, and he seems to be touching the sky, as tall as the sky, and some stars appeared in the sky. And this also shows the view, how he sees this man, and also his change in his attitude towards this man. Now he feels great respect for this man. He feels that a farmer is a person who is doing his work even at this late hours, and also he is living in harmony with nature. So he is a real human being, and he feels a great affection towards this farmer.